The Garden Erupts. Haliburton's audacious moment. Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, folks. The air was electric. The New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. The crowd, oh, the New York crowd, they were roaring, believing their Knicks were on the verge of a glorious victory. But hold on, not so fast. The clock was winding down, final seconds of regulation. The Pacers were trailing, down by 2 points, 125 to 123. And who had the rock? None other than Tyrese Haliburton, the young maestro, the Pacers leader. He dribbled, he weaved, he created just enough space for himself. Swish! It went in. The Garden fell into a stunned silence, quickly replaced by an eruption of disbelief and Pacer joy. The unbelievable comeback. Pacers refused to lose. Now let me take you back. The New York Knicks, they weren't just leading, they were dominating for a large stretch of that fourth quarter. At one point, it was 113 to 98, with only 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Then, it stretched to 116 to 102, with under 4 minutes left to play. It looked like game over. But these Indiana Pacers, let me tell you something, they've got grit. They started clawing their way back, possession by possession, stop by stop, shot by shot. Aaron Nesmith, what a spectacular performance from him. He was absolutely en fuego from beyond the three-point arc. He was the spark plug they desperately needed. Nesmith was playing like a man possessed. He drained not one, not two, but 5 three-pointers during that incredible fourth-quarter surge. With his sharpshooting, the deficit shrunk to 123 to 118. Then, with the clock bleeding down, Nesmith hit another monstrous three-pointer to make it 124 to 121, with just 13.2 seconds left on the clock. The Knicks were tightening up. The Garden faithful were getting nervous, very nervous. The shot, the review, the overtime. So, let's get back to that incredible defining moment. Tyrese Haliburton with the game on the line. He took the inbounds pass, dribbled the length of the court, the clock his enemy. He pulled up just past the three-point line, or so he believed in that high-pressure instant. He launched the shot from the top of the key, a high-arcing prayer as the final buzzer blared through Madison Square Garden. The ball seemed to hang in the air for an eternity, hitting the back of the rim, then bouncing straight up, before dropping softly through the net. Pandemonium erupted. Haliburton himself was ecstatic. He thought he'd hit a three-pointer. He believed in that moment of raw emotion that he had just won the game for the Indiana Pacers with a legendary buzzer beater. The officials, however, had to do their due diligence. Haliburton's right toe, just the tip of it, was indeed on the black paint of the three-point line. It was a 2-point shot, a game-tying shot. We were heading to overtime. Section 4. Miller. Time 2.0 ? Echoes of a Knicks killer. That choke sign from Tyrese Haliburton. That wasn't just some random spur-of-the-moment taunt. That was a calculated gesture steeped in history. A bold homage, if you will, to the one and only Reggie Miller, the man who was, for years, public enemy #1 in New York City. The ultimate Knicks villain, the Pacer legend who relished playing the antagonist, especially in the hallowed halls of Madison Square Garden. You have to remember 1994, Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Reggie Miller, looking directly at Spike, delivered the choke sign. Section 5, Overtime Thriller and a Premature Celebration. So, after all that drama, after the shot, the review, and the choke sign, we headed into overtime. And let me tell you, the intensity did not drop one single bit. It was 5 more minutes of heart-stopping back-and-forth basketball. Andrew Nembhard, another Pacer stepping up, hit a crucial layup to give Indiana a slim lead. Then it was Haliburton again, with a fearless driving layup, putting the Pacers back on top. The lead was changing hands like a hot potato. Every single possession felt like it could be the one to decide the game. The players were exhausted, but they were leaving it all out on the floor. With the game hanging in the balance with just 15.2 seconds left on the overtime clock, it was Obi Toppin. Yes, Obi Toppin, the former Knick. How about that for a storyline? He rose up and threw down a thunderous dunk. That put the Pacers ahead 138 to 135. The Indiana Pacers had done it. They had stolen Game 1. An absolutely unbelievable, stunning victory.